Welcome to All Things WWE on the Finished Article. It's your host Shazad with my boy Shazad again. As always, the dynamic duo are back. Too sweet for everybody. So today we're going to be jumping on to Wrestlemania Night 2. After Night 1's video, we just jump onto Night 2 today. We'll run down the card from the first match to the end. We'll give our thoughts on the matches, and I'll try and hold back today if I can. I'll try my best.
Let's be honest, Shaz, that's not going to happen. This is WrestleMania, and as we all know, most people will probably feel the same way as you did. So let's be honest, we're just telling people how it is. For me, WrestleMania Night 2, I have to say that and this is my opinion, but the women's title match between Asuka and
Rhea
Ripley, thank you, stole the show. I'm actually glad that she put her over, but that's just my take on it. But I'm gonna let Shaz kick off with the first.
So I'm gonna start off with the intro of WrestleMania. Actually, we had Hulk Hogan and Titus Worldwide on the screen, dressed as pirates. The reason I'm laughing because it was just stupid. They were dressed as pirates. They were saying "Ahoy, matey" and all this crap to Tampa Bay, Florida crowd. I don't think the crowd were really into it, but it is what it is. WWE do what they do. I'll jump onto the first match. I believe that was.
No. Before you go on to the first match, you need to touch on the fact that the Bella Twins making an appearance was probably the most entertaining part of that segment. Literally,
I think that was a bit further on when Bayley came out. When Hogan and Titus were there, the Bellas did come down to throw Bayley out. I think that was like halfway into the show or something, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but I'm sure that was halfway into the show. But I'm going to jump onto the first match. We had the Viper, the Legend Killer, Mr. Randy Orton, taking on Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. What can I say about this match? It was weird. Bray Wyatt's intro was, the word I'm going to use here is interesting. He came out of a Jack in the Box right at the ring, and Randy Orton was just stood there looking at him for a good 5 minutes, like, when are you going to get in the ring? When are we going to fight? The match went on. I think Bray Wyatt lost because Alexa Bliss was bleeding black. Hold on, did I get that right? Yeah. Orton defeated the Fiend. Yeah, I just wanted to double check that the Fiend hasn't been seen on TV for 3 or 4 months. He comes back just to be beaten by Randy Orton. I don't know where this storyline's going. The whole thing where Alexa Bliss had all this black stuff coming down her face, had the Fiend worried, and that's what caused him to lose to Orton. Then after that, Orton just hightailed it out of there. He just chipped. He's like, this is just weird for me. I'm gone. He chipped into the back, and then Bray Wyatt was just looking at Alexa Bliss, and I don't know. The lights went out. They came back on, and they were just gone. It was an anticlimax finish.
All I'm going to say is, there's some weird things I've seen in life, and that was just completely messed up for me. That we call this show PG now because they got bored of the Attitude Era, but that's definitely not PG. That was some weird stuff,
bro. That was just some. I don't know. I think they were trying to go for like a horror movie type thing with this storyline. It doesn't work. It's gone on for too long. It started off at what pay-per-view was it? Extreme Rules pay-per-view, where Randy Orton just burnt him. He disappeared for 4 months and then just decided to show up for WrestleMania.
By the way, let me just throw this in for Shaz and the viewers that are watching. Guys, before I just carry on about what I'm about to say, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. As always, your feedback is much appreciated. But Shaz, going on this theme of burning Bray Wyatt. I mean, come on, man. The Legend Killer loves to just put people in flames. He did this with The Undertaker, God knows how long ago, 15, 20 years ago.
Bro,
Done the same with Bray Wyatt. And I'm
just
like,
lost for words on it, bro. I'm not even sure what to say. I mean, if you saw the study, did you see Bray Wyatt's intro?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know.
Where we're coming through that aisle, and he would look like the burnt fiend, and then he faded into the normal fiend like it was magic. No, that was stupid. That was a stupid camera trick, and we aren't 5-year-old kids that are going to fall for that. What does Vince McMahon think the fans are? 5-year-olds? Does he think everyone has a brain of a 5-year-old? Come on.
You know what he's doing there? What he's doing there is to trying to find another gimmick for The Undertaker. So he's trying to make the Fiend look like the modern day version of.
They're trying to do the modern day The Undertaker, but it's not working, bro. You can't replicate what the Undertaker had for 20 odd years. That will never be replicated by someone. I don't think anyway. Maybe in a couple of years you'll get someone that could try it. I remember when they had what was that guy called? Mordashi? What was he called? The guy who was dressed in white who was meant to replace the Undertaker. I can't even remember his name. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? If anybody's watching and they remember who I'm talking about, drop his name in the comments.
Leave a comment below. Yeah,
I can't even remember the names. I don't even want to remember the name. That's how bad that gimmick was, bro. But yeah, whoever remembers that guy's name, drop it in the comments. It's gonna bug me until I remember it, bro. But I'm done with talking about this match. I'm going to jump on to the next match. Women's Tag Team Championships. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are champions, taking on Natalya and Tamina. So night one, they had this Tag Team Turmoil match. Tamina and Natalya won, and then they got the Tag Team Title match, which is fine, but they never announced that match was for the number one contendership of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Or am I wrong? Or did I miss that?
No, and this is another thing that I never understood. So as Shaz has alluded to, those guys for a match the night before, and lo and behold, we find up on night two, and we find out. Well, no, by the way, I have no problem with them fighting for a championship.
No, not at all, bro. It was just poorly booked. It's like these people are going to be having a fight at WrestleMania on night two. The starting of the card. And the match hasn't even been announced until the freaking day of, literally until the event started. I didn't know about this match until after Randy Orton beat the Fiend, bro.
Again, two things I have wrong with the story. A, you've hit the nail on the head. This lastminute.com doesn't fly around because you need to be selling the story.
Fans don't want the lastminute.com bullcrap, Vince.
We've seen this too many times with The Undertaker and Cena before. It didn't work, and it's not going to work now. Second of all, one thing I want to say, sorry, Charles.
No, you finish, bro. I'll be here for ages, bro. Don't worry about me.
So my point is, I don't understand. So Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler defeating Natalya and Tamina again doesn't make sense because they're not gaining anything from it. I mean, for me, Shayna Baszler should be fighting for a world championship title. And
bang on.
That's just
the way I see this, the way that they're handling the women's division is shocking. That's the way you can put it. There's no storylines there. There's no build up to matches like they have with the men's matches. I mean, look at the build up that you had for Randy Orton and the Fiend. You had a 4 or 5 month build up for that match just to have it finish with an anti-climax the way it did. And then you have a match straight after it that hasn't been built up. It was probably only decided when Natalya and Tamina won the night before that they're going to be fighting for the titles the night after. For no apparent reason, they got chucked on night two for the second match. It's just shocking. I don't understand what Vince is trying to do here. I'm moving on, bro.
I'm just gonna sum it up by basically saying that. By the way, no disrespect to the women's divisions because
not at all. I have no problem with women doing wrestling, bro. That's up to them. That's their job. That's their life. Yeah. But the way that it's done, the way that it's all done, isn't. it's done so badly compared to the men's that it's just laughable. They're like a joke, man.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. So we've seen two major main events between women. So last night we saw Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, legendary match. I have to say, I love that match. And again tonight, as we'll touch on shortly, we had Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. So those matches well deserved. But it's just the filler matches in between that just don't do any of the girls justice for what they're doing in. But like I said, the less said, the better on that. Anyway, I want to move on to this one because the best part of this match was KO giving
boom! He stunned Logan Paul, boy. Thank you, KO. Thank you, Kevin Owens. He did what everybody in the world wanted to do. He got the chance to stun Logan Paul. Thank you very much to Kevin Owens.
Thank you. Love that.
Sorry. I absolutely hate Logan Paul. He's just a piece of crap.
You know,
he's got no space being in a WWE ring at all, whether it's as an enforcer or something else. He's taking TV time away from other wrestlers that work hard. But I'm not going to talk about that piece of crap. I'm going to go straight on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because I was looking forward to this match. I've always liked watching Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, whether they're teaming up or they're facing each other. They always bring out the best in each other. I believe this match was probably one of the best on the card. Probably not the best, but it did what it needed to do as a third match on the card. There was no.
I have to say, Shaz, you know what? This match doesn't need any storyline because these two just hit it off like
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. They just go well together.
So the match had a bit of a build up. I think it had about 2 or 3 week build up. Leading up to it, but it didn't need more than that because these two have been best friends. They've been, enemies. People know their history now in WWE. They have that type of history that Shawn Michaels and Triple H had. Whether they were friends or they were enemies, people knew that they were gonna have a 5-star match. Well, I'm not saying this was a 5-star match, but they have top quality matches. That's the word I'm looking for. It was a bit upsetting that Kevin Owens won. I'm going to be honest. I would have preferred Sami Zayn to win with the build-up that they had. Sami Zayn having all this controversy and this documentary and all that. It would have been better if Logan Paul maybe interfered or the referee got knocked out. Sami Zayn, pinned Kevin Owens and Logan Paul hit the 1, 2, 3 really quick and then got stunned. It would have been better. But either way, he got stunned. I don't care. But yeah, that was a good match. I actually thought at one point Sami Zayn was going to win because he hit the haluva kick on Owens. But then he went for a second one. He lifted him up, went for a second one. And then Owens super kicked him and then finished him off with a stunner. But a brilliant match nonetheless. I enjoyed it. The speculation of Kevin Owens jumping off the pirate ship, nothing happened. I don't even think they went that far up the ramp. But nonetheless, it was a good match. What were your thoughts on it, Shaz?
No, like you said, you've summed it up quite nicely. For me, I like I said, this match didn't need any storyline. The two just hit it up quite well. I think just adding Logan Paul added a bit of flavor, especially the stunner at the end, just to lift the crowd up. Because let's be honest, the previous matches before, I'd have stunned. You know what? I would have rather RKO. RKO did some magic because, geez, some freaky stuff we've seen before. But kudos to those guys.
Bro, madness.
That
was madness, yeah.
Moving on, we've got the United States Championship, Riddle versus Sheamus. Now, for me, this was another epic match. Why? Because this is Riddle's, correct me if I'm wrong, Shaz, first WrestleMania.
He lost.
And I like the guy. He's got a lot going for him, and he's actually a good wrestler. Sheamus, I think, plays well into his storyline, especially with the jokes that Riddle likes to play. And I thought they complemented each other quite well. Go on,
No,
Seth.
it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. The build-up hasn't been as good as it could have been. All they did was Sheamus pinned him in a non-title match to get the title shot. You know, that's not a big build-up for a US title match, if you ask me.
No.
Yeah, Riddle's character, they're going down the comedy route, but that's not who Riddle is. Riddle is a former MMA fighter. He's a very serious person in the ring. They're trying to build him up. They're trying to build him up to try and be somewhat like the new age version of Rob Van Dam. But it's not working, if you ask me. I would prefer Riddle to be more serious. Maybe keep the same way he talks, like bro and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But the gimmick that they've got backstage, where he keeps pitching ideas for businesses to people, what's the point in it? He gets rejected every time. That does nothing for his character. It makes him look stupid. Secondly, he comes on a scooter. Yes, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny seeing him come down the ramp on a scooter and fly past people backstage on a scooter, but there's only so much of that you can take.
Yeah, and
it's just getting a bit boring now, and I'd like to see him used more seriously. And him to lose this match, that's the wrong decision, man.
And that's what I mean. So when we talk about storylines, you got to say, who does this benefit in the long run? So for me, Riddle deserved to keep the championship. Losing it to Sheamus doesn't do anything for Sheamus, because Sheamus has been around the business for a while. So what does Sheamus have to gain from winning the title, apart from the fact that he's now
besides a WrestleMania moment? I believe this is like maybe the second time Sheamus has won the US title at WrestleMania, I believe. I think he won it off Daniel Bryan within about 10 seconds or something at a WrestleMania a while back.
Yes.
Do you remember which one I'm talking about? Was that a US title match? I believe it was. That literally lasted 10 seconds. That was embarrassing for Daniel Bryan as well.
He can blame AJ Lee for him losing that title match.
Yeah, let's just blame AJ Lee and move on from that, bro. So I'm going to jump on to the next match, bro. I actually enjoyed this match. The Intercontinental Championship match fought under Nigerian drum fight rules. Big E, the champ, taking on Apollo Crews. Now, before I get into the match, Nigerian drum fight is just a no DQ match. Same as a street fight, same as a Chicago street fight. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's just a no DQ match. They like to give these type of matches different names to fit the type of storyline. I don't think the storyline needed it. No, I don't think it did, to be fair. So I'm going to jump onto the match. I was expecting Apollo Crews to win. Now, I wanted Big E to win and carry on his reign as the Intercontinental Champion, but I had a feeling that Apollo Crews would take the title from him, because Big E now needs to move on to bigger and better things. He needs to be pushed up to fight Roman Reigns and maybe beat him for the title. Maybe he's the one that beats the head of the table for the title. I would love to see that. Now, don't look at me like that, Shaz. I can see you looking at me weird, yeah? But picture it. Roman Reigns has the Usos on his side. Let's say Jimmy comes back. He's got both the Usos backing him up. Big E comes up to take on Roman Reigns. Yeah? And who does Big E have? He has the New Day, bro. Come on, that would be a sick storyline, bro.
I know you love to preview SmackDown for next Friday, but let's bring it to this, because I think you've had too much.
Let's just get on to the match, bro. I'll get on to the match. You've
had too much sugar tonight.
No, but the match itself was a good match. I enjoyed it. Yes, Apollo Crews won. The way he won it, should it have been different? Maybe. The only thing I enjoyed about the ending was the debut of is it Barricado?
Yeah.
If people don't remember him, he is from Raw Underground. He's the guy that used to just destroy people in Raw Underground, and now apparently he's aligned himself with Apollo Crews, and he's probably going to be Nigerian, and he's going to have a Nigerian accent like Apollo Crews. Even though he's a US champion, and I think Apollo Crews was actually born in America. He's probably not even Nigerian. He probably has Nigerian heritage. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm not going to get into that gimmick much longer, bro.
I have to say, this match for me, it was a win-win in my eyes because both of them are deserving champions.
Definitely. Big E deserved that run as IC champ.
Exactly. So I think you're absolutely right. Big E has held it long enough. Now it's time to push him on for bigger and better things. And I do believe that he is deserving of a world championship fight.
Well overdue
for it. So I think this is a good way to say, okay, look, buddy, push it on. But the one thing I worry, and we'll cover this in a separate segment, is again how the writers will build this up.
The thing I worry about now is he's no longer the Intercontinental Champion. Is he just going to get lost in the shuffle in the mid card like everybody else does, near enough like Sami Zayn has, Kevin Owens has, who else? Cesaro, Seth Rollins. There's loads of people on SmackDown that are deserving of being in a main event. There's a lot of them that could be facing Roman Reigns next. But my pick should, and anybody should be saying it's Big E. It's well overdue for Big E. And I think that's where he should be going next. He's left the New Day behind due to the draft.
Yeah.
He's done well in his singles career so far. I think this was his second IC title run. I remember him having one before he joined the New Day. I think when he was he the bodyguard or something of Dolph Ziggler?
Yes,
or maybe after that or before that. But he was the IC champ before, so that's his second run. But now he deserves a run at the top. He deserves a run at the main event. And when I say a run at the main event, I don't mean he gets a match at the next pay-per-view against Roman Reigns, loses, and then he just gets lost in the shuffle. That's not what I mean. What I want to see for Big E is I want to see them build this up properly. I want to see the Usos at Roman Reigns come out week after week and destroy Big E. And then you get the New Day coming and backing him up. You start off that way. You start off with having Jey Uso versus Big E. Then you have Jimmy Uso versus Big E. And then all three of them, handicap matches, whatever you want to do, you build it up big. You build it up towards SummerSlam, and then you give Big E Roman Reigns at one of the big pay-per-views, and then you give him the Universal Championship. It needs to come off Roman Reigns because he can carry on the head of the table gimmick without the title.
You know what?
He can carry that on.
All I'm going to say is he's do bigger and better things, but I'm gonna save my surprise to the end because I've got a lot to say on this, but I'm not going to say it here. I'm going to save it for the extra segment that deserves it. Moving on, we're going to move on to now the Raw Women's Championship match between Asuka and Rhea Ripley. And for me, I have to say first, big kudos to Asuka for holding on to the title for 230 days. But you know what? I think, again, like I said last night about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, it's time for Rhea Ripley. Yes, she only just recently made a debut, but you know what? It's time to freshen things up. And for me, I think these two complemented each other quite well.
They did. It was a good match.
Classic
match. It was back and forth. It was one of the classic matches. Just like Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, it was one of the matches that stole the show on the night. The women are putting some of the men's matches to shame. There's no way of putting it. I thought Rhea Ripley winning.
The highlight of this match was the DDT that Asuka hit Rhea Ripley with off the ring, ring apron. That for me was a classic moment in this. It's like a WrestleMania moment for me.
No, one more thing. Rhea Ripley has held the NXT Women's Championship, NXT UK Women's Championship. Now she's a Raw Women's Champion. Next, she needs to go for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And she'll obviously need the Women's Tag Team Championships and the NXT Tag Team Championships. Once she's had all them, she'll probably be the first Women's Grand Slam Champion.
Yeah,
that's what I would like to see for at least someone to do that and be the first Women's Grand Slam Champion. Because we've never had a Women's Grand Slam Champion.
I think it'll be between Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley because they're the up-and-coming generation.
Not really, bro, because Bianca Belair didn't hold the NXT or the NXT UK championships. So she'd need to go back to both of them and get them. But Rhea Ripley's come from NXT UK as the champion. She dropped it to, I believe, Toni Storm. Then she came to NXT UK, won it here. From NXT UK to NXT in the US. And then she's come to Raw and won it there. Now she needs to go to SmackDown eventually and win it there. Then she'll go for both the tag team titles. And then she'll be the Grand Slam champion. That's what I want to see that go. But this is WWE. They're probably not even thinking about it.
Guys, if you're watching WWE, Shaz is just giving you the next storyline. So pay attention. The guy knows what he's talking about.
Vince, where's my money, bro? Where is my money? I want my money for that, yeah? I'm going to jump on to the next match, bro. Video's getting a bit longer than it was expected to be. So we'll finish off with the Universal Championship match. The head of the table, the Tribal Chief, the SmackDown Universal Champion Roman Reigns taking on the Rated R Superstar Edge and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doesn't have a nickname, so that's why I didn't I didn't read his nickname out, bro. He just doesn't have one. This match, it was a good match. I knew Jey Uso was going to get involved as soon as he came to ringside with Roman. I wasn't expecting Edge to drop him on his head on the steel steps and send him to the back so early, which was good to see.
He had to get him out quickly. He needed that one-on-one.
Yeah, he knew he had to get him out, otherwise this match was going to be a short one. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed this match.
When he came out, I thought it was deja vu because I'm like saying, I've seen this storyline before. I've pretty much seen this storyline before.
Bang on. Now, I don't believe Daniel Bryan should have been in the match to start with, but let's not get into that. I will be talking about the booking, the writing, and all that stuff in WWE later on in another video. So I'm going to save my rants for that. Daniel Bryan had a good match, don't get me wrong. The best part of the match for me was when Edge concertoed him. I absolutely buzzed off it. I actually buzzed off Roman Reigns hitting a concerto. It's just because I've not seen a concerto in about 10 years, and I absolutely buzzed off it. It reminded me of the Attitude Era. I wasn't expecting Edge to lose. I was expecting him to win. I was expecting him to have his storied comeback. But here you go. This is WWE. They want to ruin comebacks. They want to keep Roman Reigns as champion. They want to feed him down our throats.
This is what I mean, Shaz. So the point is, we talked about this last week or week before.
Yep.
The guy won the Royal Rumble. You then give him a main event. Okay, it becomes a triple threat, whatever. Mm-hmm. You then have Roman Reigns retain it, which again does nothing for the other two, and it does nothing for him. So as Shaz touched upon, now he said Big E's gonna come. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, or what I want to happen. I'm gonna tell you my boy Jey Uso is gonna flip out on his boy, and this feud has been building up.
Jey
can't take it anymore. My man's gotta let rip. His boy Jimmy and Jey.
I would love to see Jey Uso turn on Roman Reigns and get another shot at the main event at that title and actually win it this time, not just get buried by Roman Reigns each time he fights.
Because let's be honest,
I would love to see him win it.
This Raw that's coming tomorrow or tonight,
Raw tonight. So before we go on, I want to say I actually love watching the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
it's full of new storylines, new talent, debuts, returns, whatever. Now, what I want to see on Raw, Raw. I'll say Raw because the matches I want to see on Raw with this guy are probably what I prefer. I want to see Adam Cole debut on Monday Night Raw, and I actually want to see him go against AJ Styles, but that's not going to happen because AJ Styles just won the tag team championships with Omos. So I'm not sure who he could go up against on Raw for his first run. Maybe put him up against Sheamus for the US title straight away. That would be a good feud for him, or maybe put him up against Riddle because they've had good matches in the past. But yeah, your boy Adam Cole, you heard it here first. He's coming up on Raw or SmackDown and debuting.
You know what? I don't actually have a problem with that. I'd like to see him come up. I like the guy. I enjoyed his match on on NXT Stand and Deliver, and I think it's time for him
yes,
to make an appearance.
definitely, bro. I mean, the only reason they disbanded the Undisputed Era is because Vince McMahon wants Adam Cole on Raw or SmackDown, but he doesn't want the rest of the Undisputed Era to come up with him. So they disbanded the whole group just to push Adam Cole to the main roster.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's going to turn up at the main roster. He's going to get a big push for maybe a month or two. Then Vince is going to go cold on him, and then he's just going to get lost in the shuffle. Hold on here, Shaz, hold on here. And then he's eventually going to do a Finn Balor and turn up back on NXT, and they're going to put the Undisputed Era back together. You know, that's what I see happening. Either that or Adam Cole gets pushed up to the main roster. He has a good run for a couple of months. Kyle O'Reilly comes up to Raw or SmackDown, wherever Adam Cole is. They have a big feud like they did on NXT. Then you have Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong come up, and the Undisputed Era are back in business.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past the guys. It's one of the storylines that it's one of the storylines that happen. And you know what? Let's be honest. Anything can happen in WWE, as we've seen some
Unfortunately, you're not wrong.
we've seen some good storylines, some stupid storylines, some unforgettable or forgettable, whichever way.
So just to the subscribers and the people that are watching right now, leave your thoughts on what you thought of night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania. Let us know, whether I've been just talking out of my backside about being unhappy and disappointed with WrestleMania. Let me know what you think and let me know your thoughts. Secondly, what I want to touch on is WrestleMania was the first event in over a year that had fans back in the building, which was an absolute buzz. I absolutely love the atmosphere when fans are there, the chants and everything. The atmosphere is just twice. The atmosphere is just uncomparable. If you watched WrestleMania last year when there were no fans, and I don't even think they had the LED lights at the fans on the screen. Yeah. So they had nothing. They didn't even have the screens with the fans on.
No.
Compare that WrestleMania to this year's WrestleMania. Even though it was only 25,000 fans, you can see the difference fans make. Absolutely. If you watch an episode of Raw and SmackDown and then watch WrestleMania, you can see the difference from having fans on the screen to having actual fans in the building. So, yeah, it was long overdue having fans back in the building. I know everyone wants to get back to events. Hopefully, when all this pandemic's done, WWE fly back over to the UK. I cannot wait to get to an event.
Yeah, it'll be another epic event that myself and Shaz
I cannot wait to go to another event and watch wrestling live. I've only been to maybe one or two events of wrestling live because I don't get much time from after work and all stuff like that. But when they announced the next tour of the UK, me and your boy Shaz here are 100% getting tickets and we're going, bro. It doesn't matter what day it is that I'm getting that day off work. You're getting the day off work. We'll make a day of it, bro. It's got to happen.
Sure, bro, let's do it.
Whoever else wants to join us that actually knows us, not just people that are subscribing, people who actually know us, personally. If you want to jump on and come with us, drop us a message. We'll hook it up. But yeah, like I said before, this video is getting a lot longer than it was expected to be. I'm getting dirty messages from people saying this is going on for too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to let Shaz leave his final thoughts though before we go. But thanks everyone for tuning in, and see you next time.
No, do you know what? Shaz has said so much. He covered the whole show, night 1 and 2. And let's be honest, Shaz is just speaking from the heart. I have to say, for me, covering this week from NXT Standover right the way through to WrestleMania, absolutely epic. Looking forward to the first Monday Night Raws and SmackDown. Looking forward to seeing some interesting storylines. And let's see if we can come into the future and get rid of these boring storylines.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe do a weekly review of Raw and SmackDown and NXT in the future when we get some more time out for those videos. But we'll definitely do something on that.
But yes, guys, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, stay safe and catch up with you.
Thanks, everyone. And see you next time.